What's going on, guys? Back with another video that is probably not going to be super typical of what you see, but if you guys have been around for a while, you know I kind of cover things as they come up and as kind of I get blown through life. So to get straight to the point. Oh, hold on. I got told I needed some moisturizer in a video or two ago, so I made sure I got my lotion on today. But anyway, I've been posting some things about financials and this, that, and the other over on my Instagram page, and I've had a lot of good conversation. Some, I think the point was missed a little bit, but anyway, within all of those conversations, I've had specific conversations about consumerism with my buddy, Professor EDC, that's Professor with one S, and of course other people throughout time, but specifically consumerism with Professor EDC. And what we talked about was the fact of, we have all these knives and we continue to buy knives and we continue to buy knives, but exactly how many of them do we need? And really and honestly, how often do you get a knife and you don't even really necessarily, you didn't like it as much as you thought you were going to like it. You liked it because everybody else liked it and you kind of wanted to be in on the hunt. You know, a lot of times we're in this for the hunt more so than we are the knife. How many times have you hunted for a knife, found that knife, said, this is it, this is the knife I need, I have to have it, once I get this, I'm done. And then before that knife is even in the mail, or definitely before it's even in your hand, you're already back out searching for another knife. So that's kind of the thing that we talked about. And that leads to another interesting conversation, because the other thing I constantly hear from guys is, man, can you believe so-and-so flipped a knife? Man, look at these secondary market prices. But we still feed into that as well, because it's probably the closest to a free market we'll ever see. And that market can't be propped up unless someone is willing to purchase those items. And sure enough, even though everybody complains about the prices, we purchase those knives. I don't personally, again, I guess I didn't say this. This is not meant to be me on a soapbox kind of talking down to everyone. This is kind of me sharing my experiences, because trust me, I've bought way more than my share of knives. I also very early on overpaid for my fair share of knives. And I also very early on said that I was not going to do that anymore. So I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, or maybe even had a conversation with me. And I've said I'm not going to buy X knife because it's overpriced, or I'm going to wait until another batch comes out or whatever, because I don't pay the crazy secondary prices. Or I'll wait until a buddy wants to sell it and I'll buy it for a more reasonable price. But basically at the end of the day, it's almost like we get more into the condition more into the buying of the knife and the hunting for the knife than we care about the owning of the knife and the enjoyment of the knife. And also, I'm sure you guys have noticed, I never have been the guy that gets every single new knife and, I've got to rush to the camera and put it on the camera. No offense to those guys, but this is not that kind of a channel. But even the knives I was getting, that has slowed down a good bit. And it's just because, honestly, guys, I have found, I've owned a lot of the knives I've wanted to own. There aren't a lot of knives that are coming out that really draw my attention. And at the end of the day, the knives that are out there, they really aren't for me. Flippers and all this stuff, that's just not my deal. I don't really get into all the Damascus and Mokutai and all of this stuff. I do like a little bit of Zerk, but that's really it. So what I've really done is I have really kind of moved more towards not necessarily saving, because that's a whole other conversation, but I kind of just was holding on to my money for a while, and I would buy things here and there. But then I realized, after listening to some people that I look to for advice and people that I trust their opinion, basically the point was, you're holding this money, your money in your bank account is being loaned out to other people. The bank is making money on it, and you're not making any money. And on top of that, you're spending all of your money, all the other money, and you know, maybe it could be put to better use. So I ended up actually starting to invest a little bit into the stock market, and it started in a very weird way. I kept hearing about get a Cash App, get a Cash App, get a Cash App, get a Cash App, and finally, a young lady I mentor, she needed some money. The only way she could get it at that point in time was through the Cash App. So I ended up Cash Apping the money to her. And once I had the app, I started looking around, and I saw, first of all, honestly, the Bitcoin side of things. And I put like $5 in the Bitcoin, and it was interesting. I kind of watched it and saw what it did for a while, and then I kind of clicked over on the stock side of things and looked at that for a little while, and then I threw, you know, like $20 in on a stock, and you know, just a little here and a little there, and before you know it, I had a pretty decent portfolio. And when I got in, I got in at the peak of the market in the summer. So for a while I lost a little bit of money, but you know, then things went kind of right back to where they were at. And then I kind of was breaking even, and now I'm kind of making some money, but it was just something that got me interested into investing. And it showed me that I could make my money work for me rather than just sitting on my money or spending my money on items like these. So that's what I've kind of been posting on my Instagram page. And like I said, I've had a lot of good conversations, but I think some people have kind of taken it a little bit out of context, and it's become more about the haves and the have-nots, and well, what about the people that can invest and this, that, and the other. I'm not here to put anybody down. My content is always meant to create conversation, create a dialogue, create a sharing of information, give you something to think about, and hopefully give you some good information to at least get you started down a path, which I hope is what this video does here. And I thought I brought my phone over, but I'm even going to show you guys a little bit of kind of what I've been doing. Give me 1 second. Like I said, I ended up getting the Cash app, and I think the first thing I think AMD was the first stock that I bought. And then I picked up some NVIDIA because I'm into computers. I like building computers and things of that nature. And then it just kind of branched out from there. But some of the things that I looked into were FedEx and UPS, specifically because we all know how the postal service is. And this is kind of how the knife hobby ties back in. We're constantly using shipping services. We kind of understand what services are working and what services aren't, and all that ties back into the stock market and who's going to perform, because whoever gets the most business, whoever generates the most revenue, obviously is going to create the most buzz and increase in their stock prices. So then I ended up getting into the FedEx, and well, I got into FedEx first, and then I got into UPS. So anyway, long story short, I threw some money in. I've let it sit. It hasn't been a super long time, but let's look at like the UPS. So total, total what I put in was 154.39. Again, that wasn't all in one chunk. That was broken up, and I'll kind of show you guys that. But I've already made $7.10. So I'm already up a good amount. Then we can look at FedEx, and you know, same thing. I put in 138. I'm up 11.19. So you know, nothing crazy. But the thing is, guys, in the big stock market world, 10% is what is a good aggressive gain for an entire year. So just in like a couple of months, maybe a month and a half or so, I have already almost gained 10% here, and you know, pretty similar across the board. So I was going to tell you guys, you can see here there are preset, amounts that you can select, but you could select as little as $1. You could just pop in here, hey, I want to see what it's about. Hold on a second. You can pop in here, and as little as $1, buy $1 of FedEx. It'll fill the order tomorrow. I click schedule, and I just bought $1 of FedEx. And again, that's kind of cool to me, because now not only am I able to use what I know about the market. Strangely enough, we do know a little bit more than we think we do. Again, this is not me telling you what to buy specifically. This is just talking about investing in general and allowing your money to work for you. But the knowledge we have of the systems, the services that we use, applies to this type of investment specifically, and that's kind of why I got into these things, and they've done well. You can see here the news down below. I mean, it is just really something that has piqued my interest, and it's something that has led to money that I would have just had sitting in a bank account kind of growing and benefiting me even more greatly than it would just sitting to the side. And it's also I guess in that thrill of the hunt that I was talking about, you're looking for the next thing to buy. When I have the stock, I can look at this and I know I've bought it, and I can watch it go up or I can watch it go down. I can see the trend and all of that stuff. And it gives you some of that same excitement. Because let's face it, like I said, I'm not on the soapbox talking down to people. We all are kind of looking for a little bit of the thrill of the buy type deal. But that is something that I think is very interesting. And also the simple fact that when you purchase a stock in a company, now you're technically a partial owner of that company. So we're no longer just a consumer, we're now an owner as well. And I think that's something that's pretty cool to think about it from that perspective. But anyway, I hope this wasn't too much of a ramble video. And I know this is not the usual day or time I do a video, but it was on my mind. I thought I would talk to you guys about it. Again, I hope for whatever this information is worth, it gives someone something to think about. Maybe somebody can give me some feedback, and we can just have a dialogue and just kind of grow together. And that's ultimately what I want to do. I want everyone that I interact with, I want to add something to their life. And if possible, I want to gain something from the other person as well, so we can all grow and get a little bit better every single day. But I know this probably wasn't the video you guys thought you were going to see, or even something that you guys necessarily like. But just sharing with you guys, like I said, my videos are always kind of what's going on in my life at the moment. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember, a lazy man carries a dull knife, and don't be a dumb person with a smartphone.